All right, let's test the sound. All right, let's test the sound. Joe Mercado, welcome. And Wasim Manja, I hope I pronounced that well. Very good. Well, let's wait that a few people arrive. This will be a question and answer live stream. Also, I'm testing some gear for the channel. So, okay, Joe tells me the sound is great. Very good. So I have my Elecraft K1 here, and I can bring that in. I'm on 30 meters. All right, I need, of course, my headphones. Otherwise, I can't hear the K1. So let's see what I have here. That's not it. Okay, so not much right now on 30 meters. I heard someone calling earlier. So there is some activity. I mean, there has to be a little bit of propagation, but apparently not that much. So, of course, just when I say that, all right, so that's 10.118 megahertz. So the 30 meter band, 10 megahertz. Let's see if anyone's in the chat room. Waiting for people to show up. I did announce the live stream on Facebook, so hopefully there will be some people there. It's really kind of choppy though, it seems like. That's going to be in English, Nicolas, en anglais. Mais je peux parler en français aussi. On peut faire les deux. Voilà, donc, alors dites-moi si la vidéo est un peu hachée ou si ça va. Alors, tell me if the video is a little bit choppy or if it's smooth. But, well, Wasim tells me the sound is loud and clear too, so that's great. However, yeah, the video, I wonder why that is. I'm connecting with a couple cameras there. A couple webcams, and maybe it's not that great. I did reduce the to 720p, so I don't know if that's doing anything, but the most important, of course, is the sound. So if the sound is good, we're okay, but I wish it was a little bit faster. Maybe my connection isn't great today, I'm not quite sure, although usually there's no problem. So let me go back here and maybe there's a lot of information in the stream and it's not quite oh, here, let me go back to that. Try to catch someone. There was nobody earlier, so I'm glad there are some people now on 30 meters. Let me increase the sound a little bit. I can go very far from 10.120, 10.121 because of my magnetic loop antenna. So let's see, 10.18, 10.118 is the calling channel. I'm going to leave it on 10.118 right now. So I did make some improvements sound-wise for the channel by getting some equipment, and I would really like to thank people on Patreon which make that possible. So I have a good microphone here that you can see. That's for live streams. I'm not going to take that into the field. And I have another microphone here on the Elecraft K1. This one I will take in the field. That's a SM57, very well-known microphone, very rugged. So I can take it outside and not worry about it. And it's fairly cheap. So also I got a... oh no. Might as well show you what I did get as improvements. All right, so I did get a Zoom recorder, a 2-track recorder. It's a Zoom F3 here. It's very tiny, and it's great because you can clip the sound. It's 32 bits, and it's excellent to record sound that can fluctuate in amplitude a great deal. So like a radio, for instance, someone calls all of a sudden, and it's very loud, and with my old recorder, I could have clipped the sound and lost that audio. And now it's not possible using this, so that's great. So that's going to be my field recorder. And I have a little mixing table here, nothing fancy, but a little Mackie with 2 microphone inputs, and I think it's 6 inputs total, but it's really two microphone inputs, what I'm using now, and that's all I need. So hopefully that will help a great deal with the sound on the channel. I also have those cameras here, Anchor, which can go up to 2K. But of course, if I use 2K, I think the stream wouldn't even go through probably. But I had to set them at 120p here for that to work. And I have some lights now that I can actually turn on. When it gets a little darker, I can put some light on myself and be seen in the video. So that's going to be great also for using in the field. So I have 3 of those. Something I should have gotten a long time ago, but yeah, you know how it is. All right, so let's see. The K1 is set up properly here. Yep. Try to find something else. It's a little timid. Maybe I'm gonna try to call. I'm going to try to call, and then we'll we'll have a little question and answer session. Then maybe I'll check on the reverse beacon network, see if anything comes up. One more time. All right, we'll see if that works. No answer so far, but hopefully as the time, the evening arrives, well, 30 meters is kind of in between a day band and a night band, so you never really know when it's going to be open. It's open most of the time, but not always. And today I'm not quite sure because I don't hear many people. That's the beginning of the band. 17, 18. My best chance is to be on 118. All right, so let's see who's here. Oh, yeah, there we go. We have a bunch of people. The counter, actually the counter here doesn't work. The number of people watching. That's too bad. So we have 18 people right now. It's not much, but hey. Okay, Nicolas Marchand. Yeah, I said hi. J'ai dit bonjour. Nigel Laird, welcome from England, I see. Al Cricker, K7ULM. OH7T, that's so tiny. What's tiny? That's what she says. Cool setup. Yeah, thanks. But it doesn't seem to be working that great, though, because it's a little bit I don't know. The stream is quite a lag on YouTube, and second, the video seems to be a little bit choppy. So I don't know. And I get like skip frames 25%. Like, that's not very good. Probably, I don't know. Maybe just a connection. I'm not sure. Again, the most important is the sound. So otherwise, that'd be a real pain because I'm not moving that much. So. All right. So if you have any questions, go ahead. I'm like I said, I'm kind of testing gear today for the channel. So I'm testing microphones. I'm testing a little mixing table. I'm testing lights, and again, I got a little field recorder here, but that's for the field. Okay, so back to my stream here. All right, so this doesn't work. All right, so I don't know, maybe I can fix that. Not sure. Later. It's too bad though. That's it's kind of a pain. It was very easy before to connect through YouTube. You just had to click, you know, go live on the software here. I'm using Streamlabs, and it worked flawlessly. But now you kind of have to go to YouTube and click on starting a live session, and you have to connect the software, and sometimes it doesn't work. And I was planning on doing like a preparatory, you know, test before the live stream, and I've been at it since, you know, for a couple hours, and I was not able to do so. So that's too bad. All right, let's call again. Can do that one more time. And here I'm sending, of course, CQ, 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 DED, from basically F4WBY, Foxtrot 4 Whiskey, Bravo, Yankee, and a K at the end. Okay, and 30 meters isn't doing very good. Going back to the chat. The chat also doesn't work here. So, oh, there's something showing up here. I'm not quite sure. It's really tiny though. I'm gonna have to rearrange those things. That's why I'm doing this live stream, to kind of find out what works and what doesn't work. And I really like the new theme for the live stream. That's kind of cool. Here it's a little small though on the chat, under the chat here on the right side. And the visitor count doesn't work, looks like. I'm gonna have to fix that, but I can't do it while I'm streaming. So, someone. German station. Yep. DL1 something. Andy. Oh, did I mess up here? I think I inverted my DUS. DL1 DUS. Got my first name. $100 I think you said. I just told him I was using a magnetic loop. Fine business. Merci. Dear Gilles. And hope to see you again. And repeating the call signs. All right. Say goodbye. And that's it. Contact, guys, to Germany. Pretty cool. Let's see what you think of that in the chat. Audio is fine. Yeah, I hope so. Hold on, I'm gonna reduce that now. All right, so great. I can just cut the sound here without even touching the radio. All right, so excellent. Oh, and we have also. Let's see. Yeah, I said Al Cricker from MT to Montana. Excellent. I was in Montana once in August, and it was like 80 some degrees. It was really cool. All right, so we have Mark Moore from Kentucky, N8FQY, and we have, let's see, do you have in fields another modes than CWSSB digital? That's pretty much what I use. I mean, I use digital modes. I use a lot of CW, of course, a lot of Morse code and USB, LSB. Digital, I use JS8 mainly. I don't use really the other digital modes. But JS8 is great for prepping. It's an excellent mode. It's based on FT8, but it's made to actually have a chat, so to actually communicate with people, and that's what's great. And other than that, now I mean I use FM sometimes, mostly on 6 meters because I really like 6 meters FM for local communications. But it's really hard to actually find someone. So yeah, that's about it really. Okay, so what was your antenna at moment? Oh, right now it's a magnetic loop antenna. I can't show you here because it's outside on my terrace, but it's a mag loop. I have a video on it where I built it with copper pipes. And yeah, it's a pretty big antenna. It has a 5 meter, not diameter, but perimeter. Diameter is probably, I don't know, meter 50, maybe something like that. It's basically 8 60 centimeter tubes soldered together, and with a big capacitor, a big Russian capacitor. I don't remember the value, but it's a vacuum capacitor, and those are pretty expensive. I think I paid like 100. Well, I think I paid like 120 euros. Maybe 220. I don't remember. But anyway, they're not cheap, and of course they come from Russia. So right now it might not be a good time to get them. I'm not sure. They're probably still available on eBay, but there are some also manufactured in other Eastern Bloc countries, and you can find some old ones too. I think some were even made in the US, so you can find some new old stock or something like that, but it's probably not very easy. And we have Mike05, Macanudo Proper. Oh yeah, we've communicated before. From Portugal, excellent, CT1DYT. John North, good to see you on a live stream. I know I haven't really been doing much lately on the channel, just kind of lack of inspiration, I guess, and work also, and being very busy. And, sometimes you just have to find ideas and, find the time to go outside and go out in the mountains or, anywhere else, and find time to make videos. And haven't really been able to do that lately, but hopefully I will very soon do that much more. So let's see, am I on the right screen here? Oh, I should probably be on the main chat screen. All right, here we go. So there's a lot of lag with YouTube. I'm going to reload my page here because I just don't see the most recent stuff. Well, even then, I guess. All right, so if you have any technical questions or questions regarding the channel, go ahead. I have a few projects that are coming up, and this live stream is also kind of a channel news live stream. I'm thinking of doing a video about radios for hikers and adventurer type people, because I've listened to stories on YouTube, and a lot of stories about hikers getting lost in the woods and not being found again, or found again later, deceased, unfortunately. And there was a story about a guy here. It was right across the border here in Italy, and he actually went hiking, and I think he fell and broke his leg. And he was able to call for help on his phone, but he didn't quite know where he was exactly. And I think right after he did that, reported his, chatted a little bit with the authorities. I think his phone battery died, and he was not able to call again. And they found him a week, like 7-8 days later. Of course, he had passed away, unfortunately. And so I'm going to make a video on the kind of stuff that people hiking can use, and people going on expeditions, and when they realize sometimes on only one or two means of communication, like sat phones and stuff like that works great, but sometimes it's just not the right tool, and there are so many others. So OH7T POTA SOTA equipment, well, kind of. I mean, it's kind of there is a lot of things that are similar, definitely, but it's not only going to be about HF, because there isn't just HF. We have many other means of communication, VHF, UHF, Meshtastic, things like that. Satcoms, of course, but that's more like on the commercial side, with things like Garmin InReach, for instance, which I have one. I have an older model. I think it's going to be phased out pretty soon. So, but yeah, definitely stuff like that. M7 XTT. What is most efficient? Oops, I can't. A17. A quarter wave vertical or unfed half wave portable. I would think they're different. The unfed half wave, you lose a little bit in the transformer, but not that much. I mean, personally, I prefer to use an unfed half wave. I know most of the time I have better results with an unfed half wave. What happens is that the quarter wave, you have an angle of departure that is a little bit higher, so it's more like you know, I don't know, maybe 30 degrees, something like that. So basically, you are shooting your radio waves at an angle that's a little bit superior. So sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes not. It's basically you're not going to end up in the same place as an unfed half wave. Someone you might be able to talk to using an unfed half wave, you might not be able to talk to on a quarter wave, and vice versa. Someone on a quarter wave, you might not end up in the same geographical location because the angle is different. So of course, where your signal ends up is going to be different than the unfed half wave. I like the unfed half wave a whole lot because the angle is much lower, and so one skip basically will make you land much further than a quarter wave. I don't think there's a great difference in performance, really. I mean, for us, you know, the powers we use, and I don't think it makes a big difference, really. But it's really depending on where you want to end up. Of course, the best would be to have both, but basically, you're not going to end up in the same geographical location with one or the other, and that's the best thing I can say. Now, if you're not looking at distance, quarter wave is a little bit easier, maybe because you have radials on the ground, so you have one quarter wave on the ground and one quarter wave vertical. So that might be easier to set up sometimes because you don't need a mast that it's, you know, as tall as an unfed half wave. Of course, you need a half wave mast, and that can be really really long. If you're on 40 meters, you need a 20-meter mast, and you're not going to have a 20-meter mast. I use a 12-meter mast, and I can have the wire fairly vertical on 30 meters. That's a 15-meter wire, but after that, it's a sloper, basically. And with a sloper, you lose the advantage of the unfed half wave. Well, not quite, but then you also have a higher angle of departure of your signal. So then it doesn't really make a difference because you're going to end up in the same place. All right, so R Quicker K7 ULM, Gilles, have you been doing any portable ops lately? No, and that's a problem. I haven't been doing anything lately. So unfortunately, well, okay, let's put it like this. The world is not doing great right now, and we have a lot of conflicts. And so I did concentrate a little bit more on other aspects of prepping because of course you can't, if you're into prepping, and you really should, given what's going on, you have to put your efforts in different categories of prepping subjects, you know, and you can't ignore some, you know, for others, because you need all of it. And that's a lot of money to spend, and that's a lot of time, and that's a lot of, you know, to concentrate on different things. And I have been concentrating on other things that I had kind of forgotten about. So that's why I haven't been really on the air. And also, like I said, a little bit of a lack of inspiration maybe, but that's going to definitely change, and I'll go back on a more rigorous schedule. We'll see. All right, so John North, use a stereo boomerang for 10 meter while tunes perfectly quarter wave with angle adjustable counterpoise. Yeah, I bet that works really well. Yeah. Justin Elliott, 2004. What? I don't know what you mean. Anyway. All right, so that's the plan. So the plan is to do more outings in the field, do more field operations, and the summer is the summer. We're already like halfway through, and I haven't done much. But yeah, I really want to go camping again because that's really something I like, and If I have to go alone, I'll go alone. My friends are not moving much lately also. I don't know why. It's kind of there is a kind of a morose atmosphere right now everywhere, you know, and it's probably because of what's going on in the world. And people are, I'm not going to say they're not, I'm not going to say depressed, but there's a little bit of that, you know, and uninspired, not wanting to do stuff and go outside and have fun, I guess, maybe. But I want to change that, and yeah, I'll start with the video about hikers, hiking, radio for hikers and adventurers, basically. And I have that's going to be more of a you know, grouping of a lot of things that I've said in my videos in the past. What summer just rain, John North? Or where are you located? I don't know. It's not raining here. It's pretty darn nice here, actually. So. Of course, it's the Mediterranean, you know, the south of France, so the weather is usually good. I mean, we've had some bad weather, but not that much. All right, so let's go back to the K1 and let's see if I can maybe find somebody else. I hope you can hear that. Yeah, it's probably a little much. Okay. All right. You tell me if the levels are too high or whatever. $117, $118, $19, 21. No, that's not Morse code. 18. Nobody on 18. I'm going to call on 18. That's an interrogation point because I want to make sure that nobody's here. I'm not cutting into someone's QSO. Nobody's answering, so I can call. All right, let's listen. I had a good signal into Germany, so hopefully I can pick up someone else. Hold on, I'm going to change. No, can't find it. I was going to change the windscreen on the microphone here because it seems to be picking up a lot of my breathing, and that's not what I really want. Oh, there it is. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna cut it, shut it off, because otherwise it's gonna make a lot of noise. And we're back. So that should be better. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's a little better. All right, let's go back to the main chat. Oh, apparently thunder, lightning, and lots of rain in the UK. Okay, well, it's quite far north. I mean, yeah. My parents, every time they call me, you know, they're in the north of France, close to Lille, up there, and it's the same story all the time. Oh, what was that? I heard some voice on 30 meters. Weird. All right, so I'll leave it on a little bit less volume, maybe. So if you hear something, let's see, who's that? Could be the same guy as before. Okay, let me go on 10.116. That's the other calling frequency. No, 19. There's a weird, maybe digital mode on 21 here. 121. It's an Italian, I think. Weak signal. I'm gonna wait that it calls again. That was kind of weak. Usually Italian stations, depending on where they are in Italy, have a problem copying because they're just too close, basically. And believe it or not, being too close can be a problem, as much as being too far. All right, so I'm gonna lower the sound a bit. There's a big difference between the chat and YouTube. I mean, it's lagging quite a bit here. All right, so let's see, the counter is still not working. Don't know how to fix that. All right, so well, the sound seems, everybody seems to be happy with the sound. So let me know how that sounds. Other than that, everything works except the view counter and the video being a little choppy. But that's probably just my internet connection. I might not have exactly the bandwidth I need, but it's fiber, so it should work. It should work just fine. Of course, usually the internet service providers, they give you much more download bandwidth than upload bandwidth, and I'm not quite sure what the ratio is here, but it should be enough. All right, so there's quite a few minutes, probably 5 minutes lagging between the stream and what I see in the chat. So that's really le son est parfait. Okay, excellent. Well, it's 5 minutes for me. It might be less for you. In any case, I think it's probably a couple of minutes. All right, so I don't really have any other news than that. Again, this is more of a gear testing live stream, site news, I mean channel news live stream, and explaining what I'm going to do next. So I also received, I'll tell you more about it. I'm also going to build an antenna with some really flexible metal stuff here that I'm not going to get into the details right now, but also okay, I did publish my last video was about the Retevis the Alliance HD2, and I did get some comments. Lots of people were talking about spurious emissions and you know, why I didn't talk about that. And I did see videos before I published my, I did look for a few videos, and there was one guy who was mentioning spurious emissions. Now you have to know, guys, those radios, I mean, if you get a cheap radio from China, you have to know that they're saving money from somewhere, okay? It's inevitable. Although Retevis, the quality of Retevis is a little bit above the rest, I think, personally. I've used a lot of them, and they're very rugged radios, and I really like that. And most of the time, the spurious emissions are just fine. Now you have to know that those radios are used for prepping purposes, so they're not my daily driver, but I consider them to be great radios, even though they might have some flaws, and not radios is without, you know, any flaws. And you know, the numbers that are given by the FCC and other regulatory agencies around the world, yeah, they are there for a purpose, of course, and you don't want a radio that's splattering everywhere and going to cause trouble. But you know, personally, if the radio is just like, you know, a tiny bit under or doesn't quite make it, or you know, if I'm not using it all the time, I'm not going to, it's not a deal breaker for me, okay? of course, it is our responsibility to make sure that our radios have clean outputs. And yeah, I wish they did have better filters, honestly, of course. But it's not a deal breaker for me because I don't use them all the time. And I mean, they do have filters. It's just that they're not up to specs, basically. It doesn't stop me from buying these radios, because they have other things that are great about them, and you just get what you pay for, basically. So it's not going to be perfect, and you have to know that. So yeah, just a little parenthesis here. All right, and we have John North, always enjoying your videos. You are one of the more intelligent. Well, I hope so. This live stream, though, I'm not. Again, I'm just testing stuff, so it's more like a social gathering, right? And well, I think that I'm just basically honest. I'm not doing this for money because I would be starving if that's all I was doing. And by the way, if you want to support the channel, you have the coffee donation thing there below on the bottom of the screen and in the description, along with Patreon, the link for Patreon and crypto addresses and stuff. So, and yeah, almost forgot to mention that. So okay, and N179 Gnast says in YouTube it's more or less 30 seconds. Yeah, I thought it was a little bit. It's a little bit more for me, definitely here, much more. But who knows? Is the video still choppy or not? Like if I move like this, is it choppy or is it smooth? Let me know. And John, okay, I have the USDX black brick, which is great on receiving, but not so great on TX. Can reach VK on 4 watts. VK from where? England? Whisper. Yeah, Whisper is very efficient, that's for sure. Now the USDX, there are a lot of USDX implementations. You have the true SDX, of course, by DL2MAN, and if you go to his website, dl2man.com or .de, I don't remember which one, he has a list of actually builders that are approved, and there is even one. The one I used on AliExpress actually has them for like I don't know, maybe $100, $120, something like that, and it's really not much, but those are approved and they are built correctly, whereas a lot of those models, a lot of companies have copied the design and they've stolen the design, basically, and they did whatever they wanted, and they cut corners and they changed the schematic, and then you end up with a radio that's really not a USDX, but it's something else, and most of the time it's less, not as good. So I would suggest that if you get one, you really buy the one from the list of approved vendors at dl2man.com or de. So yeah, and that's a much better, at least you're sure that you have the correct schematic and it's built the right way. But that's a great radio, man. I love that radio. It's just, and I'm going to mention it in the future video I'm making about hiking and adventure and stuff like radios for that purpose, and it's really awesome. It's tiny. It has all modes. It has 5 bands. It's just amazing. I mean, and if you add the little, the Retevis powered speaker to it, of course, because the speaker that's in it is really tiny, so the sound is really tiny. But you add a power speaker, and then you have a sound that's excellent. And basically, it's just like any other radio, except that it's the size of a pack of cigarettes. Well, a little bit bigger, not much. So, yeah, that's one of my favorite radios, and I always said I'm going to buy a second one. But of course, I bought all this equipment for the channel, for the sound, and for field recording. So. And that's going to help a great deal, because of course the most important is not the video quality, although that's important, but the most important is the sound, especially when you're dealing with radio and speakers and sound coming out of the radio, and you have a way, you need a way to record that properly. And I have to say, what really helped my channel was to get that little Zoom H1. Yeah, the Zoom H1. The one you see that I have the little muffed, the dead cat on, you know, and some people thought I had it was my beard, but and that's really great. Oh, the video is no longer lagging. Excellent. Yeah, and that's a great microphone. It's pretty cheap. It's like $100, and they have new ones, the H1N. I think it's like that one is even cheaper now. It's like $60, $70 maybe, and but they have a new one. They have the Zoom Essential line now, but those are kind of crap, and I much prefer the Zoom F3 here, which is excellent, and I'm going to use that. And that's not cheap, but it records in 32 bits, so there's no way to clip the sound actually, which is going to save, probably save me, you know, quite a few times, I'm sure. All right, let's see. We are still on the main chat, and I hear some stuff going on the K1 here. I hear something. I'm going to try. IK6. I have a hard time to understand him. Oh, I think he doesn't hear me, probably because he started calling again. And that's one of my pet peeves for radio. You know, people, they're just they don't wait long enough between calls. Let's see. No, he didn't get me. Oh, it's too bad. Again, Italy might be too close, really. And I know for some people it's going to be like, what, too close? How can it be too close? Yeah, because, well, if you're skipping, your signal is refracting on the ionosphere, and well, if they're right in the middle, they're not going to get it. So I made one contact with Germany. There's a QSO going on 18. I'm going to lower the sound and put it in the background. Okay, I can barely hear it now, but I'll hear if someone else calls. All right, so we have a little bit of background noise, but that's not bad. It's Morse code. No chop here. Okay, great. KC8ARO. Excellent. All right, do you have questions? Well, guys, go ahead. And don't hesitate. I'm here for that. If you have any suggestions for videos too, you know, you can always send them to me. I'm not going to be able to make them all, of course, but sometimes, you know, a good idea is always welcome. So you can go right ahead and do that. And I'm going to put my email in the chat here. Simply gilles@radiopreppers.com. Here we go. So you can email me there. Usually I reply not immediately, not always immediately, but usually I reply to about anything, you know. Also, you don't hesitate to comment. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe, because a lot of people watch the channel without being subscribed, and really that's too bad. It really helps if you are subscribed, and give me a thumbs up. Do you still use, John North, do you still use military radios? Oh yes, I sure do. Actually, I just had a QSO with a friend of mine, Jeremy, on 6 meters FM, and you know, he was telling me every time we chat on 6 meters FM, it works really well. And I'm like, yeah, well, it does, you know. And it's when you think about the fact that the military uses these frequencies, you know, lower VHF quite often, there is a reason why, and it's because it works. So I really like the 6 meter FM radios. I still have my PRC 320, and I have my TRC Thomson CSF TRC 372 that I need replacement batteries for. So I'm going to get that. And I also have a couple PRC 351s, one with an amplifier, so that makes it a PRC 352. And I have a couple PRC 350s. So I have, yeah, I have quite a few. I have my beloved VRM 5080 made by Racal, and that's an excellent radio. It weighs a ton. It's way too big to transport, but it came out of a tank, basically. It's a tank radio. And it's really made to be jolted around and, you know, to resist vibrations, and it's pretty much indestructible, you know. So I really love that radio. I like to take it outside and plug in my... I made a J-pole for 6 meters, so I'm looking at it because it's right over there. My apartment is a mess, guys. And I have radio stuff everywhere. So yeah, I really like military radios. Unfortunately, I have, let's see, I have VRM 5080, couple 350s, couple 351s, the 320, TRC 372. What, that's seven military radios? And I have one handset for, for 7 radios. And really, I should have 7 handsets, right? I mean, yeah. And that's a problem. So something to put on my shopping list, but I have a long shopping list, so, but definitely I need a few more handsets for the, you know, Klansman handsets, because yeah, it's kind of a problem. Even if I wanted to use 2 radios to communicate between point A to point B, I couldn't because I don't have the handset. So that's a little bit dumb. Oh, and we're still skipping frames at 26%. That's darn. All right, let's see the chat. If someone has any question or comments. Peut-on replier une dipole pour sauver de l'espace? So, can we fold a dipole to save space? Oui, on peut. Il y a d'ailleurs des dipoles qui s'appellent folded dipole, dipole replié, où on peut par exemple avoir le. So you can have the dipole like this. Hold on, I'm going to. I want to see what I'm saying here. Or, okay, I'm going to cut the K1. You can have a dipole like this, so fed in the middle, alimenté au milieu, avec les 2 fils comme ça, qui vont comme ça, et ensuite au bout ça peut pendre. So, also, et quelquefois aussi il y a des dipoles qui se replient comme ça, mais bon là c'est un peu plus délicat. But yeah, you can have a folded dipole, c'est possible. All right, so mixed French-English here. Franglish, I don't know. So, le mieux c'est quand même de la laisser bien droite. Hein. Now, of course, what's best is to leave it, you know, straight. Don't forget to like this live. Yes, please do. PD1XAN, thank you very much. Xander Marx, well known on the channel. And share it, you know, share it with your friends. Send it to them. Actually, I should have sent a reminder on YouTube. Maybe I should do that now. YouTube. No, but not YouTube. Facebook, because we have a group on Facebook. It's called Radio Preppers, and you can subscribe to it. But I think there's like 20,000 people, right? 23,000 people. And you know, I really would like to get to 100,000 subscribers. That would be absolutely awesome. And like I said, I can't possibly live, you know, have enough income to only do YouTube. That's just not possible. Wouldn't be very wise either. But with more subscribers, of course, I could do more stuff, you know, and it would help a great deal to have more people. All right, so I can't even see the my Facebook is actually not, it's actually very slow right now, and yeah, that's because I'm streaming. And yeah, I can't see my post on the live stream, so I can't update it. So if someone is a member of the Facebook group, find my post on the live stream and put a comment in it. That'll bump it up to the top. All right, so I can see here who else is here. All right, so yeah, don't hesitate to have questions. I'm going to go back on the K1, see if there's anything going on there. It's kind of nice to being able to control all the sound from one place here. Ah, there's a QSO conversation going on. Oh, something station. Oh, it's saying goodbye. I'm out of practice, you know. I'm out of practice, and that's really not good. All right, I'm going to look on 10.1.16. 10.118.3. I'm not sure my K1 is set up precisely, you know, the frequency it's showing. It's kind of a suggestion. It probably is, you know, maybe within 200 or 300 hertz, so that's not bad. All right, so they're already in a discussion. I'm not going to interfere. I'm going to go on 116, see if anyone calls there. I think 116, 10.1.16 is the QRP calling for. No, it's, I think it's 10.1.06, isn't it? Anyway, 10.1.16 is also a calling frequency, and as well as 10.1.18. So I'm going to leave it on 10.1.16, lower the sound a bit, so we can have it in the background. All right, someone calls, we'll hear. Let's see the chat again. Greetings from Sweden, SA7GAM. I haven't heard many SA stations. That's cool. You know, my sailboat was built in Sweden. It's Havsfidra. Excellent boat, and yep. Actually, I just posted a video I remade last night on my personal channel, and I'll post my personal channel is this one on YouTube. Well, yeah, that's the account the account I'm commenting under here. Yeah, actually, I'm not logged in as Radio Preppers on YouTube right now, so only streaming. All right, so if you have any suggestions, questions, go ahead. I'm having fun here, guys. I don't know how many people are here. 24. That's not a whole lot. That should be like a few hundred, you know. That would be nice, right? Usually there are like 30, 40 people, so it depends. But I don't have much to say today, so it's more like a social gathering and testing the gear for live stream and making sure everything works for the next one, who hopefully will have a more precise subject matter, and we'll gather more people. But you know, it's Sunday afternoon and I have nothing else to do right now. So, do you know the HBAR K100 antenna analyzer? So, you know, I think I've heard about that one, because I had one that was called the was it the MR100 or RM? might have been MR100 or something like that. And I think the SRK was like a development of that, maybe, or related to it somehow. And yeah, I've heard about it. Now I have a nano VNA that goes up to 1.3 gigahertz, I believe. And I really like the nano VNA, I have to say. The only problem that I have with it is that when you're, like when I'm setting up my magnetic loop antenna, I would much rather have a simple display of the SWR. And as I turn the capacitor, I could see the WR go down. Now, there might be a way to do that on the nano VNA, but I haven't found out how to do that yet. So, but someone knows, let me know. I probably should, check out some videos on that and try to understand the way it works. But it's a great little analyzer, and it's you can the cheapest ones you can find for probably like $50. Mine was a little more because it goes up to 1.3 gigahertz. I know they have one that goes up to like 6 gigahertz, and I thought about getting it, but for only one reason, is that if you remember, I published a video on Q0100, the geostationary satellite that I did reception. I did a video on receiving the satellite feed, and I was planning on doing the transmission. But it's a lot of money to invest in a transmitter, because it has to be a 2.4 gigahertz transmitter. Reception is on 10 gigahertz. Transmission uplink is on 2.4 gigahertz, and of course you need a antenna analyzer for 2.4 gigahertz. So I thought about getting the one for 6 gig, with a 6 gigahertz limit, but it was more money. I think it was like $170, something like that. And the one I bought was only, I think it was around 100, but it was cheaper basically. And the truth is that satcoms are not really my thing, and I did the reception on Q100 because my buddies were using it, and it's really for the people who live within the area that it covers, and unfortunately it doesn't cover the US. It's a great system. Of course, it's dependent on an infrastructure. Someone is operating that satellite, and they could turn it off. So that's why it's not really my thing. But sometime I'd like to try transmitting to it. But the truth is that I'll transmit to it, I'll make the video, and then I'll never do it again. So do I want to invest a lot of money on that for one video? That's that's going to bring me maybe $10. Not really. So Gabriel Manoli had my full license for 3 years. Where are you from? Oh, SE. Oh, Sweden. Yeah, right. That's right. Duh. Prefix is for newer hams. Okay, I didn't know that. New hams in Sweden. Cool. Well, that's good. Congratulations. Awesome. Maybe I'll hear you sometime. If you do CW, you have a chance to hear me. So you have to learn Morse code now. All right, let's go back to the K1. Oh, I was on the K1 screen. 17, 18. It's nobody there. All right, I'm going to try calling. Sorry about the noise outside, guys. I'm leaving my door, my window open because it's way too hot today and I don't have air conditioning. So you're gonna hear some noise from the outside. And that's a condenser microphone, so it picks up everything. Maybe I should have used the other one. Not sure, but hey, live and learn. I like the quality, you know. I like the quality of the microphone. That's a Lewitt 240. Nice microphone. The other one you see above the K1 is a Shure SM57. For those who are into that kind of gear. All right, so not much going on 30 meters. Check the chat room. Oh, I'm gonna lower that. All right, so John North, I have a SARC 100 works, but a clunky interface. Okay, great for quick use, but no replacement for a nano VNA. Good if you want to make live adjustment though. Yeah, that's a problem with the nano VNA. It's when you have to do a quick, a quick adjustment of an antenna, and that's especially a magnetic loop, and that's a little bit of a problem. So that's the only gripe that I have with it. And other than that, I really like it. It's a bit complicated though. I don't know how to do everything on my nano VNA. Basically, I know how to sweep the band and create different sweeping ranges and save them. And I did the calibration and all that stuff, and that's about it really. Otherwise, the more complex functions like finding the length of a cable or something like that, or maybe finding where it's broken, I haven't used, and I'm not even sure I'm gonna ever going to use that. But it's there, so I like that fact that if I need it, I can figure it out watching a few videos, All right, so let's see if people have other questions. Anyway, I really would like to thank you guys for stopping by, because again, that's just a test, kind of a test stream to test the gear and see what works, what doesn't, and there are a couple of things that do not work. I was going to stream on Twitch also, but again, I think I don't have the bandwidth at this moment. So, and that might have been the problem earlier when the video was choppy. I don't think I'm streaming to. Let me go on Twitch, because I have a Twitch Radio Prepper channel, but I've never posted anything on it. Twitch, let's see, twitch.tv, Radio Prepper. Am I streaming? I don't think I'm streaming right now. Whoops. All right, let's see. My channel. Am I streaming? Offline. No, I'm not streaming on Twitch. Okay, that's good to know. I did a test earlier. I was able to successfully stream, but not with YouTube at the same time. And I did pay for the subscription to be able to do that. So, Gabriel Manoli, all videos from Gilles are amazing. Thank you. Well, thank you very much. Not this one though. It's not amazing. But I'll try to do better. Now I have better equipment for sound, and maybe I'll have to look into better equipment for video maybe. So if you'd like to help the channel, you have the Coffee donation link down below, with Patreon also, and there are a lot of people on Patreon did leave when I stopped uploading regularly, and hopefully I'll go back to that to be more regular, with the uploads. And so if you'd like to help the channel, go ahead. It's anything helps a great deal. So Coffee link donation down below. That's the tip me at ko-fi.com there. The link on your screen and in the description, and you have the crypto addresses also. Don't hesitate to send crypto if you have any. And yeah, that's always a great help, and helps me to get more stuff, like like I did there: lights, cameras, microphones, mixing table, field recorder, and that's really the most important part, is to have a clear sound. And then I'm gonna have to work on the quality of the video as well. but I mean, I film with my phone. You know, I have a Samsung S21 FE. You know, it's not the latest, but filming with a phone seems to, you know, it's been working great for me, and I don't see why I would change that. I don't know. I don't know if I need a better camera. Really, maybe I don't. You know, and maybe it's not something that should be on my list. I mean, so far so good. But it's good sometimes to have like two different angles, you know, angles of view, maybe three. Uh, so that's always it's always good to be able to switch between one to two. I mean, usually I have a camera on myself and I have a camera on the radio, and that's about it. Maybe I should have a third camera that shows both, you know, the table I'm working from. So that's a possibility, but I'll see about that later. All right, so I'm not going to make it much longer, I guess. Well, I don't know. Depends on you guys. The more interaction, the more you share this live stream with other people, the more I'm going to stay today. But 27, that's good. It's going up a little bit. And sometimes I see people who have like thousands of people watching their live stream, right? I'm like, well, I don't know. I must not be doing the right thing, you know. Tell us more about the radio you are using. Well, the one that I have right now is the K1, so the Elecraft K1, and I'll put it there so you can really see it. The Elecraft K1 is it's a great little radio. That was one of my first radios when I first started. I remember I really wanted to get into amateur radio, and it was basically kind of for prepping purposes, and it really was because I wanted to do Morse code. I really, really wanted to do Morse code. As bizarre as that might appear, it's the reason why I got into amateur radio was to do Morse code. So I first bought a kit. I think it was a kit from Steve Weber, and it was called the DC-20 or something like that. It was a 20-meter rock bound, so crystal controlled little radio, tiny radio that fits in an Altoids case. And I built that, and it worked great, which surprised me because I hadn't done any electronics for like, you know, a couple, probably 3 decades, you know, before that. So it worked the first time out, and I started listening on 20 meters with a little antenna that I strung inside the house. And I heard a guy talking to another guy. So I had a decoder on my phone. I was cheating because I didn't know Morse code at the time. I didn't even have a license, so I wasn't transmitting. I was just listening, and I heard a guy talking with another guy, and it explained. One of the guys explained that he was retired and living on a sailboat. And I was like, wow, it's so cool that you can, you know, share that kind of information just with Morse code, you know. It's just, and I knew that the Morse code radios were smaller, QRP radios. I knew that you could have a radio the size of a pack of cigarettes and talk to someone thousands of miles away. And for prepping, I thought, well, that's awesome. I mean, there's nothing better than that, right? It just, I mean, if you can if you can decode Morse code in your head, you can listen to stuff from the world over, you know, and transmit with just a few watts and have enough power to be heard in thousands of miles away. So, and that's really what I wanted to do. So I bought the K1 kit, which at the time I bought with the built-in tuner and a four band module, which I think all in all cost me. I paid like the whole thing's like $500. Now, mind you, I wasn't sure I was going to be able to build it. I didn't know any Morse code whatsoever, and I didn't have my license. But I built the radio, and it worked. And, you know, then I had no choice. I had to get the license, because otherwise I would have spent all that money for nothing. And so it pushed me to learn the code and learn the buy the books for the license and pass the tests, you know. And I passed the three tests at the same time, the technician, general, and extra. I passed in the same session. So, and I was pretty happy about that. I didn't think I would get the extra, to be honest, but I knew I would get, no doubt. I had no doubt I would get the technician and general, but extra, I was a little bit worried, but I got it. So I got my call sign, Alpha Kilo 4 Yankee Hotel. And that's still my call sign, my US call sign. I renewed it for the second 10-year period, And the K1, the one I had, so not this one. This one, that's my, let me think, that's my third K1, I think. Yeah, that's my third K1, and the last, I'm sure. Probably not the last, but I'm never going to sell that one, that's for sure. Actually, the first one I sold because that was dumb, and then of course I bought a second one because I couldn't live without a K1, and the second one I lost when I lost my boat in the Bahamas. So, and then when I came back to France, of course I had to get another K1, and fortunately I found a guy who had an unbuilt kit. So I jumped on it. I mean, it's a two-bander, so this one has 30 meters and 80 meters. And I have another module for 20 and 40, but I still have to tune it. But 30 and 80, 80 meters for camping, and 30 meters for regular use. And that's what I use most of the time. And it's an awesome radio because it's fully analog, and it's the sound is just so freaking good. It's not digitally, digital sounding. It's fully analog, and it's really pleasing to the ears. Like I can listen to the K1 for hours and not get tired of it. If I listen to another radio that's digital, digital sampling, like an SDR or something like that, if I listen to Morse code using one of those radios, I can, after 30 minutes, I want to turn it off. So there's something about the analog sound it doesn't. I don't know. You can tolerate better, basically. And that's my favorite radio, bar none, is the K1. That's my favorite radio of all the radios I own, and I have probably 40 radios. I don't know. I don't even know how many radios I have, but yeah, it's definitely the best. And I really like small QRP radios. I really like the USDX. USDX, USDR. USD, I think it's X, GL2MA, and I'm going to go to this website, and DL2MAN SDX, True SDX, that's right, True SDX. Well, it's a USDX with a TR for True SDX, and it's DL2MAN.DE. And I really love that radio. It's awesome. I really like also all the radios from Steve Weber and Hans Summers. Great people, great developers. I also really like the radios from Dave Benson, which unfortunately retired. But hey, if we all retire someday, I guess. He bought a nice house in the woods and retired, so he doesn't make. I guess maybe he still makes radios, but just for himself. Actually, I'm the one who got the last Warbler, the Warbler 20 radio that he, because I wanted one and I couldn't find one anywhere. So I contacted him and I said, hey, do you have any Warblers left? And he just happened to have just one left. And I got the last Warbler from Dave Benson, but unfortunately it wasn't my boat when I lost it. So. All right, so let's see the chat. And of course you have the military radios, I really enjoy as well. PRC 320, TRC 372, the 351s also. Really like that radio. It's really simple, really, well, it's not light, but it's lighter than the others. And one of my favorites, the VRM 5080 as well. Great 6-meter FM radio. Well, if we had 4 meters, I could use it on 4 meters, but unfortunately, that's not an option here. All right, 20 people, I guess. Well, it's kind of winding down. All right, so ask your last questions, guys, and I guess my goal is fulfilled here. I have tested the gear I wanted to test. The sound is working okay. The connection with YouTube, that's another story. That's not that great, I guess, unfortunately. But that probably would change if, depending on the day, and maybe there are a lot of people streaming using the internet on Sunday. That's probably the case. Other than that, yeah, I could test everything. The cameras work. The lights haven't turned on really. Let me see. Yeah, here's one light on. So you can see it shining here. Yep. So that's if the natural light was to be too low, I would turn the light off. I can also change the intensity of it, so that's pretty cool. The microphone works great. The Shure microphone on the K1 works great, although it is connected directly with the phone jack there to the mixing table, so that works awesomely well too. And the field recorder I already tested, so that works great. I'm waiting for another microphone, a shotgun microphone, and so that should help a lot for outside, taking sound outside, because it's very directional, so you kind of get rid of all the other sound that comes from other places. So though sometimes we're not far from a road, or it's windy, or any kind of noise, and it's really hard to get rid of. So the only way to do that is to have a microphone that picks only what's in front of it. So that's something I'm going to be doing, and so the future videos on the channel should have better audio, and I'll do my best to increase the quality of the video, also more the filming, I would say. And I wish I knew a little bit more about filming. Maybe I should have gone to film school instead of philosophy and computer networking. But hey, I have to put some bread on the table, right? All right. So last look at the chat room before I'm going to close the stream, except if people ask me stuff. Oh, the Rack Wireless store has an anniversary sale right now. Good to know. Thanks. Awesome, Jerry. Awesome. Not sure of the dates. Basically, free shipping on some items. That's cool because, well, I have a rack link down below, so check it out. But that's cool because they ship by DHL, I think, or other like more serious shipping companies. So you're pretty much sure to get your package, but you have to pay a little bit more to get it. So what we do here is that with my friends we do group buys, and that saves a little bit on shipping. But let's see, not all, but including the Wisblock 19003 4631 starter kit. Okay, that's excellent. Oh, the starter kit I think is a 19007, isn't it? Well, it doesn't matter. 19003, that's the small one, and 19007, that's the bigger PCB. But the 4631 is the LoRa board, basically. So you have a base board and you have the transmitting board on top of it. John North, thank you for the live stream. Kept me entertained while my wife watches tennis. I don't like tennis either, so I understand. I understand. Where's your QTH now? I'm in Antibes. Antibes is a small town. Well, it's not that small, but it's not that big either. It's a town that's basically smack in between Cannes, where you have the Cannes, the French Cannes Film Festival, and the town of Nice. And when Antibes is in the middle. So I'm just on the Mediterranean Sea, the French Riviera, I have the ocean here just a couple kilometers away. I can see it from my window, actually. And that's pretty cool. I really like it here. And we have the mountains in the background. We are in a region that's called the Pre-Alps. So kind of before the Alps. and it's basically you can go to the Mediterranean, and you can go to the mountains, depending on your mood that day, I guess. So that's a really great place. I do miss Florida quite a bit, though. I mean, I miss the U.S. in general. Probably if I was gonna go back to the U.S., I would probably go to, I don't know, maybe I'd move to Utah or something like that, or Arizona or something, somewhere it's not really cold. I mean, Florida isn't bad, but it's all flat, and except on the coast, in the center, it's mostly swamps. So I mean, I really like it, but I have a lot of friends over there, and so who knows? I was thinking of maybe going to Africa somewhere, either Namibia or Zimbabwe. I say that. Yeah, okay. And I mean, who knows? I would have to find a job or retire there or something. But I'm kind of intrigued by that continent. And I was reading a book. I'm actually reading a book right now by Beryl Markham, Markham, I think, Beryl Markham, something like that. Yeah, who was a pilot. A woman who was a pilot in 1935, which is not many, and in Africa, and she was a horse trainer, and she's recounting. I forgot the title of the book, but West something, I forgot. But anyway, great book and a great read, and it's just inspiring, And I've read other stuff about Africa. I don't know. It sounds like an intriguing place. So anyway, I'd like to go there, but do some radio in the bush. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Let's see the chat. Daughter's family had a food visit, and at Nice, usually usual rain for the first 3 days. Oh well, it doesn't rain much here, but sometimes we get flooding because the region is not set up to evacuate the water, basically. So in some places, the rivers just overflow and cause a lot of trouble. And that's when amateur radio can be pretty useful in cases like that. But the organization that does, I mean, we don't have races and RS, around here. We have some things called the ADRASEC, ADRASEC. And I don't know. I have some doubts anyway, but there is some activity, definitely. All right, guys. So 23. Oh yeah, we gained 3 more people. So who are the new ones? All right. So anyway, I'm really enjoying live streams, but of course, I wish this one, like I said, is more of a test, gear test live stream. So it's just to see if everything works all right for the next good one. So if you have, and actually, yeah, things do not work, like I said, because the view counter doesn't work here down below. And the stream chat, also on the right side of the screen, doesn't work either. There's one thing printed there, but I can't even see what it is. Let me see if I can get that a little bigger. Hello, sorry for bothering you. I want to offer promotion of your... Okay, so we got some spam there that is just stuck on the screen. That's great. That's great. Ignore that, guys. I don't know how they got that there. Probably just have an automatic system that sends that to all the streams that come on YouTube. So, and of course it got stuck on that. I'm gonna have to fix that. But anyway, so that's a good way to check if everything works. And Jacob Castro says, "Hello, freedom lovers." Oh, and by the way, I know it's 3 days late, but happy. I hope you had a happy 4th of July, and happy 4th of July anyway, right? Although it was 3 days ago. The U.S. is probably the last bastion of freedom anywhere in the world. So I hope you guys keep it that way. All right, well, I shouldn't speak politics on the channel. That's my rule. That's my own rule. So no comment on that. All right, so guys, well, I'm going to end it there if nobody else has questions. And, I thank you very much for helping me test my equipment here and do a little live stream, something to do on a Sunday afternoon. And I do have a couple of things to fix here. And, when I have time, I'll make things work properly. And other than that, I'm going to work on the next video, which should be radios for hikers and adventurers. So suggestions on gear to use. Radio long wire. 73 de Paris, merci pour la qualité des vidéos. À bientôt sur l'air. Eh bien, à bientôt, j'espère. Le chamois des Alpes bondit. Yeah, I'm not even sure what chamois is. The translation to French. I'm not sure what kind of animal it is in English. I probably know it in English and I know it in French, but I don't know the association between the two. And yes, a happy Independence Day. Well, our day is on July the 14th, but I tend not to celebrate. It's not something I quite agree with, but again, I'm not going to talk politics. Au revoir du Québec. Bonne journée, bonne soirée. Non, c'est la journée là-bas. Mm-hmm. Very good. So we had someone from Quebec. The Ozarks, Missouri. Awesome. Where was I? Did I go to the Ozarks? I don't think I did during my trip there. No, I went to a place where they had like a big hotel with like bath that was used by the mafia at some point. I forgot the name of that place. Anyway, audio quite low. Okay, really. Let's see. Well, I can turn it up a little bit. Oh, there we go. Okay, so that's a little. That should be a little bit more, but I can't go quite more than that. Antelope. I don't know if it's an antelope. Antelope is something that you'd find in Africa, but I don't think chamois is an antelope. Maybe it's the same family. I'm not sure. Because they have horns, don't they? I forgot. I'm not a wildlife expert. Anyway, yeah. Working perfect. Nice broadcast. Thank you. Swand. Very good. LE6YJA. Excellent. So yeah, I turned the sound a little bit more here, and I'm going to see. Make sure I'm not clipping because that would be bad. Okay, am I not clipping? No, I'm not clipping. Okay, great. So yeah, don't hesitate to tell me like if if I should turn the sound louder or not, or how it sounds. And I mean, to me in the earphones it sounds good, except I can hear myself breathing, so that's a bit of an issue. But other than that, the sound sounds pretty good. I do hear noise from the outside, though. I hear a rooster, I think. It's not the morning. What the hell? It is a rooster. Anyway. Would end up in the pot if it was up to me. Oh, definitely a rooster. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard that, but yeah. All right, so anyway, I wish you guys a nice day, a nice Sunday, and a nice week also. And hopefully I'll be back on the air with a real subject matter next time for a live stream. So don't hesitate to send me suggestions for that. And hopefully I'll be also publishing a video fairly soon. I'm thinking next weekend, at the end of next weekend. Maybe before, we'll see if I have time, because I have better work hours now. I work 9 to 5. Before it was, you know, sometimes starting at 5 a.m. and sometimes starting at 2 p.m. and ending at 10 p.m. So it was really, really bothering me, and you know, I couldn't sleep well, and I had trouble to adjust to the change in the in my routine, in my work hours. But now that I'm 9 to 5, it should be easier for me to you know, edit videos, maybe work a little bit at night on the channel, and I'll be more awake during the weekends. So hopefully next weekend I'll have something. At the end of next weekend, I'll have something for you guys. All right, so I'm going to stop the stream. You guys say your last goodbyes, and then I'll let you go. Just to make sure that I didn't miss anything in the chat here. All right. Once again, guys, thank you very much for you know, helping me check out this all this new gear and testing it. And you have a good night.